Ever woken up frozen in bed, unable to scream, as something watches from the shadows? These 3 twisted sleep paralysis cases will make you question if sleep is truly safe. Subscribe, like, and drop your nightmare in the comments, if you dare.
I've been dealing with sleep paralysis since I was 15. Most of the time, it's the usual waking up, unable to move, shadows shifting in corners, a feeling of pressure on my chest. But is this night was different. It happened just 3 months ago. I hadn't had an episode in years. It started like it always did. I woke up at 3:46 a.m. My arms, legs useless, couldn't move, couldn't even scream. My eyes darted across the room, and I could feel something there. Breathing, watching, waiting. Then I saw her. A woman in white stood at the foot of my bed. I thought it was the usual hallucination. Pale skin, jet black hair that hung like ropes soaked in oil, and eyes black as a starless night. But she didn't fade. She didn't dissolve like the others usually do. She tilted her head slowly, almost curiously, like a dog that hears something in the distance. And then she whispered, "You brought me back." That's when I panicked. My chest tightened. I thought I was dying. I felt something tug at my ankle. A cold, skeletal hand dragging downward, pulling me into the mattress. I screamed inside my head, begging myself to wake up. But nothing worked. Then the woman stepped forward. Her feet didn't touch the floor. She floated toward me and bent down, her face inches from mine. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't blink. I could see maggots wriggling beneath her skin. Brew. And she whispered again, "I'm not part of your dream." I was in someone else's. Then it snapped. I jerked awake, drenched in sweat. My arms and legs were mine again. My room looked normal, until I saw something scratched into my closet door. Room 317. Helper. Now here's the part I never told anyone. Room 317 wasn't random. It was the room my sister had been found in 10 years ago. Dead. Hanging. Suicide, they said. But she'd been having sleep paralysis too. She used to say, "There's a woman who watches me sleep." We'd all dismissed it as night terror. After that night, I started seeing the woman even when I was fully awake. In the corners of reflective glass, walking past doorways, whispering behind curtains, and every single time she says the same thing. "You brought me back. Now she's yours." I don't sleep anymore. I can't. Because if I do, she gets closer. And if I die in my sleep, I know she'll be the last thing I see. I used to work the night shift at a remote gas station just off Highway 180. Long hours, barely any traffic, and isolation thick enough to make you feel like the only person left in the world. That's where the paralysis began. Not at home, but at work. I'd rest during my break 20-minute naps in the employee room. That's when I first saw him. He had a face too wide for his skull. His lips were stretched in a constant smile, unnaturally long cut into both cheeks, like someone tried to reshape his face. He wore a dusty brown trench coat and a black hat that never left his head. His eyes didn't blink, not once. In my paralysis, I'd wake up to see him crouched in the corner of the room, staring at me, silent, still, smiling. Bibet. The first few times, I chalked it up to hallucinations, stress, a tired brain, inventing horror. But then, he followed me into my waking life. One night I opened the station door to a man standing just outside, not moving. His face was shadowed by his hat, but I recognized the grin. I slammed the door shut, locked it. When I looked again, he was gone. I called the sheriff, but by the time they came, there was no one, just boot prints in the dust, circling the station. That night, I tried not to sleep during my break. I failed. I woke up locked in paralysis again, but this time he was closer, sitting at the edge of the couch. His eyes dripped black tears, staining his trench coat. That smile, still cutting through the silence. Then he spoke, slowly, calmly. His voice was like gravel being chewed. It's not your body anymore. And he reached for my hand. When I finally snapped out of the paralysis, my hand was moving but not under my control. My fingers twisted, cracked, stretched unnaturally like someone else was inside my skin, testing it. After that, things got worse. I began losing time. I'd wake up in the storage room, covered in dirt and smelling like gasoline. I'd check the security footage and see myself talking to someone the camera never showed. Always smiling, always laughing. The sheriff came back one day, asking questions about missing hikers. Said their last stop had been the gas station. One of them had written down my name in a journal they found near a dried-up creek. Alongside one sentence, he smiled, just like the thing in my dreams. I quit the job, left Flagstaff. But wherever I go, the sleep paralysis followed. And so does he. Every night, I see him again, smiling from the foot of my bed, whispering the same thing. You left the door open. I'm not going back. I wear gloves now, because my hand, they don't always do what I tell them to anymore. Sleep paralysis has haunted me since childhood, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened 2 weeks ago. I'd been on a camping trip in the Sawtooth Mountain. My friends were asleep in their tents, and I was in my own, tucked in tight, trying to fight off the cold. I drifted off. And that's when I slipped into paralysis. I remember every detail. I woke up, but something was wrong. My tent was gone. The trees looked taller, twisted, as if they'd been carved by hands. The stars above didn't match any constellation. I knew. I couldn't move, couldn't scream, but I could see. And standing right in front of me, just a few feet away, was a man. Except it wasn't me. He looked confused, terrified. He was staring directly at me like he could actually see me. And then he whispered, "Who are you? Why are you in my dream?" At first, I thought it was a hallucination, just the mind playing tricks. But then he screamed, loud, raw, real. He clutched his head, fell to the ground and started muttering nonsense. But every few words made sense. He's not supposed to be here. That's not how it works. You're real. You're real. Get out. Suddenly, the dream around me ripped like paper. A tearing sound, loud and unnatural. And then I was back in my sleeping bag, heart racing, drenched in sweat. I sat up and unzipped the tent. And that's when I saw him. That same man, standing just outside the clearing, shirtless, barefoot, shivering in the cold. His eyes locked onto mine, and he whispered, "You dragged me back with you." He ran off into the woods. Before I could say anything, we called park rangers, searched the area, found no trace of him. But the next night, it happened again. I slipped into paralysis, woke up in his dream. Only this time, it was darker. The trees were blackened, burned, the ground cracked like dried flesh. And he wasn't scared anymore. He was weighty. He smiled, not in a friendly way, but like someone who finally understood how to use a weapon. He walked up to me and leaned close, his breath ice cold against my cheek. "You keep dreaming like this, Pa, and you won't wake up alone next time." I woke up, choking, coughing up dirt, actual dirt, in my sleeping bag. My nails were packed with soil I couldn't explain. Ever since then, it's happened every other night. I wake up somewhere else. A burnt house, a flooded hallway, a hospital room with no doors. And he's always there, smiling wider, getting closer. The scariest part. Last night, I didn't wake up alone. I heard footsteps in my room, real ones. My closet door creaked open, and someone whispered, "My turn to sleep in your world." I haven't slept since, because I don't think it's sleep paralysis anymore. I think I stole someone's nightmare, and now he wants it back.